Welcome back, everybody. As you can see, we're still locked down here and dealing with this for another week or two. And we're here to talk about one of the hottest shows on television and one of the funniest things going, Peacemaker. We both checked out episodes 1 to 4, and I'm going to start off with, hey, I'm loving this show.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of like a breath of fresh air. John Cena is knocking out of the park as reprising his role from Peacemaker, as Peacemaker from Suicide Squad 2, right? And yeah, his character Chris Smith is the superhero / a little bit of chaotic Peacemaker, and it is it's a blast right now so far. That's what.
It is such a different take on the superhero genre. It's like you said, it's a breath of fresh air. It is absolutely something to behold as far as I'm concerned. It's something so different because I'm a huge John Cena fan as a wrestling fan. His body of work leaves something to be desired. He's not the greatest actor in the world, but this role is like perfect for him. It is freaking hilarious. We're 4 episodes in, and I want more. I just it can't get here enough. It's one of those streaming shows. I wish they had just dropped all the episodes at once.
Yeah, just kind of waiting weekly for the shows and taking us back to the 90s where you actually sit and wait for it to come on TV, right? So it was, but it's I definitely, it's definitely a different superhero movie because you have kind of a misfit character, right? Really, he's kind of got a conscience. Like he doesn't want to do. He's no problem with killing people, but yeah, it's kind of got to be the right context of why he would be doing it, And so it's kind of funny how he kind of goes about his business, right? And I guess you have a whole cast of characters. I guess they're all kind of misfits in their own certain way, right? They all have their intangibles.
It's a ragtag bunch for sure. Like there are very few really super serious characters. They're all kind of got their quirks and intricacies, their idiosyncrasies. The right from their group that he is joined up with to the ones he's fighting, to his daddy issues with his dad. And that group, like, every character, like the neighbor, even his dad's neighbor, like every single character just has something to them, and there's a comedic quality to almost everything they're doing here. Even though there's like a very serious and very violent show going on.
Yeah, kind of the overtone is that, but it's this comedic underlying presence, right? And the neighbor, especially, I think it's just bit part, but it's hilarious. He's like, man, when they were getting into it in that episode 4, and he's like, I was just trying to have a conversation.
He's like, just screaming at him, just freaking out, and then the way he comes across.
Funny.
Yeah, that's the show is written awesome. Like James Gunn, once again, pulling gold out of the hat. Like this guy's, everything he touches is gold. And I'm not sure how. I think it goes till the 17th of March. So what does that leave us? 3 more episodes or 4 more episodes?
Yeah, I think probably. I think 4. I think it was slated for 8. I think wasn't that what it was?
Not enough as far as I'm concerned.
No, but what you get with James Gunn, right? And I've talked about this on other conversations about, you get great writing, and then a killer soundtrack.
The soundtrack is 80s gold. It's almost like the Cobra Kai developers pick the songs in this too. Like it's just one of those soundtracks from the 80s, and it's just it meshes well with the characters. It just gives it that, because what the tone they're going for. It just adds to that tone. It's cheese, but it's great cheese.
Was he playing some Firehouse in one of the episodes?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh god.
It's like, oh man.
There were some tunes there that brought me back to when I was a kid, and I couldn't believe, like, the albums he was flipping through. It was just like, oh, I know that one, and it was just kind of a running joke. But the soundtrack is great. Like, even though it's kind of like the 80s, hair metal cheese almost. It's a great soundtrack.
Oh yeah, no, it's so that's always good. And then you've got, you know, the comedic underlying tones, like obviously you got your foul language, which is kind of James Gunn specialty, kind of in that sense. And the character, and I'm surprised at actually the kind of depth you're getting with the characters, like just in such short periods, you kind of getting everybody has a personality, right? And I think that's what I really like about it.
Yeah, I think that's what's making the show something that everybody, the critics, everybody's loving the show, because there's actually some substance to it. The characters have some
Mm-hmm.
substance to them. They're fleshing out the characters. They have issues that they're dealing with. They're
Yeah.
despite the fact that it's so over the top, they're humanizing them.
Oh yeah.
And they're doing a great job of it. Like it adds to the story. It adds to you can see like Peacemaker Chris Smith is he wants nothing more than to please his dad and get his dad's approval.
Yeah.
Even though his dad's the white dragon, this white
Oh
supremacist
yeah.
bad guy, he
Yeah.
just and then that's kind of where we're gotten up to in episode 4. We're finding out more about their family history and something to do with
Oh
his
yeah.
brother. So yeah, you're beginning to see how these characters are fleshed out and why they are the way they are, and we're obviously going to get a lot more yet, but
Oh yeah.
you're at least for fleshing out the characters. It's not just a one-dimensional show or one-dimensional character. That's really adding to it for me.
Yeah. Well, it's not your straightforward, like you said, superhero show, and like casting Robert Patrick as John Cena's dad. Oh, that's great. I mean, he always plays those kind of, you know, supporting characters, I think, which are just fantastic. And you know, he's great in the role. And you've got his sidekick Vigilante. I think the guy is great.
Yeah, that guy's
he's
so over the
just
top too. It's just like, but
it's
he
just
fills the role perfectly.
oh yeah. So I was reading that actually had to reshoot that whole part. They had a different actor originally. Yeah, so they had to go back and reshoot all of that stuff, and redo it because the other actor, I don't know, either some sort of disagreement, didn't like what was going down, or didn't want to be part of the show, and so they had to recast it and get this new guy in, and like
Well,
maybe it was a good thing, maybe.
yeah, because the casting seems perfect to me. Like he really fits the part. Like I said, he's the perfect sidekick. He's over the top as well. It's
Oh
just
yeah.
another one of those great characters.
Oh,
Before we
that
go any
will,
further,
well,
let's start right from the beginning of the show. How about
yeah.
how about those opening credits?
Oh, so the dancing and the just like I'm like, what am I watching? And when you know, we talked about watching the show and reviewing it, and I was like, what am I watching here? Like we got this weird dance routine, but it
It's
kind
the
of
goofiest, stiffest routine, and it just
oh
the first time I watched it, I was like, this like it's basically the same reaction you had. What am I watching? But I wasn't sure if it was terrible or if it was pure gold.
yeah,
And by the end of it, I
I
was just
know.
laughing. Like I had to watch it again. I was like, this is great.
Oh yeah, no, and when you see a couple episodes, it's like the intro kind of makes sense. It's like, okay, yeah, I get this now. So,
No,
oh, it's good. I mean,
that was a perfect. It just adds to an already great show. The fact that they wanted to do a classic opening sequence like old TV shows used to have, but obviously
yeah.
nothing quite like this.
Oh no, it is gold. And well, I mean, you got some gold characters. Little the judo master, like that guy's fantastic. Like
Yeah, I don't know who
what a great
plays him.
little bad guy.
Yeah, I didn't really look
Oh,
him up, but yeah, he's doing a great job. Like he's just over the top,
he's
and once again,
just grabbing a bag of chips and eating it as he's going along and
just
giving
totally
just
badass.
oh, those little things like that just crack me up. And and you know, your best friend, not necessarily a sidekick, the vigilante, but the eagle.
Legally,
That's just
yeah,
just fantastic. I think that just those are just the little components that are great.
yeah,
And you know, I don't really remember. I remember seeing Peacemaker in the comics, but I didn't read a whole lot of it. Um, so I feel like Peacemaker is maybe a little bit more serious in the comics. There's different iterations of Peacemaker.
yeah.
So
Some of the stuff
yeah,
I've seen online, they were talking about how they did kind of amalgamated some of the different versions into one, and
yeah,
like I would guarantee that 99% of people don't have a clue who Peacemaker is.
No,
But
no.
that also doesn't give you these high expectations like a lot of these comic book movies or shows. Going in who the person is, and you have certain expectations of what you want from it. This going into this, I was because I had seen Suicide Squad, and I was like, okay, well, the character wasn't something I thought would spin off, but the spin-off
Yeah.
is so much better than that movie.
Oh,
It,
hands down.
yeah, so
Yeah.
you go in with these low expectations, and they've knocked them out of the park tenfold.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like from watching Suicide Squad 2 to this, it's like they're night and day. And it's not even really similar. So I mean, to me, I know James Gunn did that one, but this is so much better, in my opinion. Like Suicide Squad 2 is better than the first one, I kind of thought.
I like
But but you know what? This is way better, and I'm glad that this series is happening. It's kind of one of those little diamonds in the roughs you wouldn't expect that would be good, but I mean, so far four episodes in.
I'll just say right now, I give it 2 thumbs up. Whatever up, I'm 100% invested. I would highly recommend watching the show.
Oh, absolutely, and without getting into it maybe too much. I mean, as far as we know that the kind of overarching thing is to stop these butterflies, right? And it's interesting. It's an interesting concept, and I don't know where they're going with it. To be honest with you, we saw a little cliffhanger in episode 4, so I'm looking forward to finding out, where that's going to go.
We'll hash some of these episodes out as we go here now. We're catching up on stuff here, and we'll get a little more in depth on these episodes going forward. But yeah, we just wanted to basically touch base on the show, what we thought of it.
Yeah.
And let's hear your comments and thoughts on this show. It's if you love it as much as us, as everybody else seems to like it, and if not, we'd like to hear why as well. But yeah, we'll flesh this out the next remaining how many ever episodes, next 3, 4, 5 episodes, whatever's left, and then we'll break it down a little bit further for you guys.
Yeah, thanks for joining us over here at the Blazing Overture.